think it's about time that we go through some tactics I've been using, the formations that I've been enjoying, and the roles and positions and all that good stuff. I think I'm in a very similar boat with you guys at home where, like, defending is a little bit difficult and you're trying to find some tactics that are potentially going to work for you. So stick around with me. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff today, and let's have a discussion in the comments how you guys are feeling about the game, what formations are working for you lot as well. And if people have got information that's going to help everybody, we love it, don't we? So make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here as well. But I'm going to go through my team first of all. If you're not really interested in that, I will put like markers in the video so you guys can just skip to the bits that you want to see. But I'm just going to go through my team first of all. If you guys are needing some coins, then check out my friends over at IGGM for the cheapest and the most reliable FC26 coins. And if you check in the description, make sure to use my code Kirbz for 8% off your order. Happy buying those players on FC26, boys. And I've only recently added Vinicius Jr. into this as well. 1.3 million. As far as I know, when he went into the game last year, or when the whole game came out, he absolutely skyrocketed to like 2 mil or something ridiculous like that. I need to fact check exactly how much it was, but Vinny was obviously a really, really nice card at the start of the last game. In the last game, he does feel really, really good again. That pace, that dribbling in this sort of a level gameplay with 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, unbelievable. In at cam, we've got my first owner, Jude Bellingham. We managed to get this in a pack and play with James not too long ago, and I really, really like Jude Bellingham on this game. I think there's a little bit of a difference in terms of like how I play using shielding and stuff like that. As we all know, shielding and stuff like that in previous FCs and FIFAs, players haven't really been that good. Whereas from what I've experienced so far, Jude Bellingham is really, really good for doing that. That 85 physical, you can actually feel it now. And again, his attacking attributes are really good. His low drivens are also really good too. And overall, I've just been really, really impressed. I wasn't a big fan of Bellingham in FC 25, but this time around, I've been really, really impressed with Bellingham so far. And I'm really happy, actually, that we've got him untradeable first owner in the club. In at left mid is someone else that we've managed to pack as well. This is kind of why I've gone into, like, La Liga at the start of the game. Mainly because I've been kind of forced into it, really. But I did manage to pack Rafinha. That was like my first insane walkout that I've managed to get. I've played 29 games with him so far, 30 goals, 18 assists, and this is at left mid, bear in mind. Again, his dribbling is absolutely nuts. The rapid and the 91 pace, really, really nice combo. His finishing as well, alongside low drivens, very, very good yet again. And he also makes some pretty damn good runs for left mid. I need to try a little bit more maybe for left wing, because I am hearing that 4-2-1-3 is still pretty good, but I've had a bit more joy with the formation that I've been using, which I'll show you in a little bit. My first centre mid is going to be Toni Kroos. Managed to get him from the debut icon. He's okay, if I'm honest. I think when his upgrade comes out, I think I'll be a lot happier. But I'm very much thinking about getting or dropping Kroos to the bench and buying someone like Frenkie de Jong. Tiki Taka Plus, when I've used that in the draft, that has been really, really good with Frenkie de Jong. And I think it could be quite a very OP early playstyle plus. Then next to Toni Kroos, I really wanted to try out Fede Valverde, so we bought him for 500,000 coins, which again, it's a lot of budget. This squad is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. I will show you some of the cheaper beasts that I found on this game so far. And of course, if you've got your own, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd always be interested to see what cards you guys have been using too. But as I need coins to do videos and stuff like that, I want to try out some of these better cards, you know? So I'll let you know if they're good, which Valverde absolutely is. Obviously, he's in line to be in the promo later on today when you guys potentially see this video. Valverde is absolutely mental. Those stats sometimes on these types of cards can be a lie. Valverde, not at all. This card is absolutely unbelievable. And I imagine he'll probably stay in and around the 500,000, 400, maybe 600,000. Whether he's a good investment or not, I don't really know. But I love this card. And I think if I could match him with someone like a Frenkie de Jong, I feel like that would be quite a nice balance between the two, especially in the formation that I'm currently playing. Then at right mid, I'm currently using Michael Elise, only because I've packed him. And to be fair, this Elise card's pretty nice. He is a little bit on the slow side, and I would like to change him for someone a lot faster. I was thinking about maybe going for Lamine Yamal, just because that works with the team that I've got. But his price is absolutely fluctuating all over the gaff, and I don't want to potentially lose too many coins on him at the minute. But Elise has been great for me so far. 28 goals contributed in 26. It's not horrendous. Then my left back at the minute, I had an absolute stinker. I paid 30k for Mendy. Literally on like this day 2 of early access of FC 26, and I know he's obviously a little bit cheaper now, so I've taken a bit of an L on him. I am in the process of looking to get rid as well. Like Mendy's, he's good, but does he feel like a Furlong Mendy of the past? I don't think he has that level of OP this year. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Played 29 games with him, and I wouldn't say he's like, oh, you have to get this card. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those ones. Then my left centre-back is Mickey van der Ven. Again, very, very good card. You really feel that 64 passing when trying to pass out of the defence. That I can definitely say. Like, if you're in a little bit of a dodgy angle, some of the centre-halves are okay and will just make a good pass, but you definitely feel it with van der Ven, I can tell you that. But his recovery pace sometimes when, like, a ball over the top or a through ball is really, really good. So I can imagine this card is probably going to be quite popular in the early part of FC. Then next to him, I did buy Virgil van Dijk. I wanted to try him out. Again, he does pretty much have his, like, Virgil van Dijk powers, but sometimes you really do feel the pace against some of the quicker attackers that people are running at the moment, like your Kolomuanis, your Ekatikas, that sort of thing. He does struggle a little bit, but a lot of the time, it is just Virgil. He is good. And my right back is the Reece James card. I haven't managed to try out Hakimi other than in the draft. He felt really good in draft, but this Reece James card for, what, 30,000 coins? Pretty good starter right back, to be honest. And then my goalkeeper for now is Manuel Neuer. What I'd like to do with this team is change to Thibaut Courtois and Lamine Yamal. Unless there's like a different combination I can go for, that's what I kind of want to go for. The formations that I've kind of been enjoying so far in FC 26 is the 4-4-2. 4-4-2 deep is the one that I use on my road to glory, which I'm really enjoying using that at the moment. But this one, I think for my main account, is my favorite one that I've used so far in terms of formations. I still need to try out things like the 4-2-1-3 if you want to look for a meta sort of like formation, but I've just been enjoying how this works. Like, what I've found between other formations is the midfield and the defense, the gap is too big a lot of the time, and I have been trying to mess about with like the depth and stuff like that. But in some of the other formations I've tried out, like your 4-3-3s with different versions of those, for some reason the AI midfield and defense gap is just way too big, if that makes sense. Because I still need to play some more games to find out if there is any more to it, this is just what's been working for me so far. And if you guys want to try it, then by all means, please do so, and I hope it works for you. But if we go into the more tactics side of things, if you guys have jumped to this point in the video, like I said, we're in the 4-4-1-1 so far, and here we are then. Let's jump into the tactics side of things, and if you guys would like to copy and paste the code and stuff like that, I'll put a little screenshot on screen just so it's a bit zoomed in, and you guys can then test it out for yourselves. But I'll go through it and the reasoning for it as well. So currently I've got it on build up as counter. I did try balanced for a lot of it so far, and again, that's where I was coming into quite a few problems to begin with the gap between my midfield and my defense, and it was just, the gap was just absolutely mental. If someone had like a cam using 4-2-1-3, stuff like that, they just had far too much room. I ended up then dragging out a centre back to try and like cover that gap. Then the striker would make an insane run, and then trying to recover from that was a nightmare. Again, there's probably pro players that probably have a bit more insight to this and have better tactics, but this is just showing you what I use, and I'd like to say I'm pretty good at FC. So if you choose to listen to it, that's at your own peril, I guess. And then defensive approach, I've got at 70 at the minute. I have tried 40, 50, and 60. 40 just, I don't know. Again, it just felt too negative. 50 was okay, but I'm toying between 60 and 70 at the minute. I've got 70 currently, but I think I am going to change it back to 60 at some point just to test out which I prefer out of the two. And in terms of player roles, these are the roles that I've personally been enjoying so far, right? In terms of goalkeeper, ball-playing keeper, absolutely fine for me. It's a role plus on Manuel Neuer. I don't think it matters too much on the goalkeeper. Some people prefer to just keep it on traditional goalkeeper. Absolutely fine. Neuer's been great at ball-playing keeper. I haven't really noticed too much of a difference there. For the fullback so far, I haven't really messed about with it too much. On Reece James, I definitely did try the false back, and that really didn't work for me. So I've just kind of put him and the left back on fullback defend to start off with. Sometimes there is depending on what opponent you're against, sometimes it is okay to be on the focus on balanced as well. Just because then when the ball gets past to like a left mid or a left winger, the fullback will then just step up and try and intercept it. But again, if you're playing someone really good that's going to play a lock and stuff like that, I want my fullback in a more better position, if that makes sense. And for my two centre mids so far, I've got one of them on deep line playmaker, and obviously Kroos has that as a plus. If I was to get Frankie de Jong, I think he also has that as a plus or plus. And again, Valverde, box to box plus. That's worked for me massively so far. I guess if someone wanted a more defensive one, they could have it on defend. They could have it on holding, but other than that, this is what's worked for me. My left mid and right mid, I've got an inside forward, just because that makes them make better runs, and the AI makes by far better runs. I have tried winger plus as well on Dolan on my road to glory, but again, that's okay, but he stays a bit too far wide sometimes, and then when you're trying to have that little bit of balance between your right mid, your cam, and your striker, the gap's too big for me at the minute. And the reason I've got them on balanced as well is I want them to be available for passes. That's why they're on that, just because it makes them more available. Bellingham, I've got on Playmaker plus balanced. I would like to try out Shadow Striker at some point, but Playmaker plus on a card like this is really, really nice. And then for striker, I have tried out Poacher on a couple of other cards, but for Vinny as a lone striker, advance forward, just again, it's just more well-rounded for what I've seen so far. He's always available for the ball. He does jump in behind as well when he needs to. Even though he doesn't even have that as a role plus or even plus, he still makes some really, really good, like, intelligent runs. Probably because it's Vinicius Jr. But again, I've had a lot of luck with advanced forward so far. So that's my tactics side of things. If you guys want to see an updated version of this, maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks' time when Foot Champs is in and around, just in case anything's changed, then make sure to leave a like and let me know down in the old comment section. Now, in terms of super subs so far, I've got a couple of players in mind. I've got a defender, a midfielder, and an attacker for. And again, if you've got any like suggestions where you think, oh yeah, I've missed this person, this player is actually really good for a super sub, let me know. But I have packed Tamori. I think he's in and around 7,000-8,000 coins. If you guys have got spare cash to have a defender like that, I would put a Tamori. If you've got a little bit less in terms of coins, I think Kalulu is a really solid option if you wanted a defensive option that's decent, you know? A midfielder option, again, I've got a more expensive version, but this cheaper version is Manu Kone. It doesn't show that I've played any games like online with him, but I have used him against friends and stuff like that, and he's been insane, like really, really good. Very cheap, very good option. But my more expensive option, I did manage to pack this guy, and I'm going to put him into a couple of Evos. Now, Team of the Week Lucas Bergvall goes into 2 Evos to give him that extra defensive boost, and then I'm going to put him into... Let me just double check exactly what the Evo's called, because if you guys would like to do it, then you're more than welcome to do so. So I put Bergvall into Rising Guard twice, which puts him up to 80 defending. Then I'm going to put him into the cover athlete, and he'll be a really, really well-rounded centre mid. He may even be in line to start some games, but 100% as an option, like, it's got to be done. He looks absolutely nuts. Borderline Hullet Club. And I think this sort of forward option is going to catch everybody off guard, to be honest. My forward option is Amora. Now, the reason for this, 90 pace, 3-star weak foot is probably one of my only, like, qualms with him. And he does have 86 dribbling as well, with 93 agility, 93 balance. Normally has 81 shooting. Now, EA did release an Evo today that gives +1 shooting, and you can do it twice, but obviously within a 24-hour period. I'm going to put Amora into that twice. So eventually, he's going to have 90 pace, 83 shooting, and 86 dribbling. 80 rated still, and could go into even more Evos in the future because of the rating cap that EA are putting at the minute. That is an unbelievable option. And with his playstyles as well, like, I think this guy's a proper underrated beast. Quick step and rapid on an 80 rated card. Chip shot, it's okay. Acrobatic, and then game changer. The only things he's really missing is low driven and finesse, which I believe at some point we're probably going to be able to have them as silver, like, playstyles to put on a card. So if you're looking for a cheap beast that you need as a super sub, or you can even put him into your starting 11 because he is just good enough. Again, I've mainly used him against friends because we're limit testing what cards are good and what's, like, effective. And I have played a couple of squad battles games, and that's why he has 18 assists, which is a bit crazy. But that's currently how I'm doing sort of on FC26 so far with my formation, my tactics, what I've been running. So a couple of players that I've been interested in using as well. You guys will have to let me know down in the comment section how you guys are getting on. What's your favorite formation so far? Have you got any cheap beasts for people to try out? I'd genuinely love to know, because I'm really, really enjoying myself, to be honest, at the start of this game, and I hope you guys are too. So yeah, if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Make sure to get all of your comments in, and I'll check them all out and see what everybody's been up to. But yeah, until the next time, hopefully these tactics, if you use them, they're good for you. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.